Hey guys, T2 out here, Titan Ink Survival. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be going over my get home bag, why I have one, what it's used for, all that good stuff. So before we get into mine, I'm just going to do a little bit of information on why you need one, what should be in one, and some misconceptions about one. So first off, why do you need one? Well, situations happen all the time. You need a bag to be able to get you home in those situations. If you don't have a bag like this and something happens and you're at work or you're away from your house, you've got to have a way to get you back home to your bug out bag, get you back home to all your rifles and your pistols and everything you keep home, instead of just trying to survive with what's on you. I mentioned being at work. Most people do spend a lot of time at work. If they're not at the house, they might be at work. And you ask my wife, she's going to tell you I'm either here or I'm at work, that I don't have a life outside of that. That's 50% true. But I go other places as well. And that's why my bag is built, not to get me home from work, but to get me home from those other places. I saw a video one time. This guy only lived like 6 miles away from work. So he built a 6-mile get home bag. He's going to be at work. When something happens, he's going to walk 6 miles. Murphy's Law dictates that ain't going to happen. He's going to be 50 miles away from the house when something happens, and he's going to have a 6-mile bag. I planned what's the furthest I'll go without my bug out bag, which is about 50 to 75 miles. You know, Cabela's from my house is about 50 to 60 miles. Most people only work 20 to 30 miles away from their house. So if I'm going to use a 20-mile bag to get me the 50 to 60 miles home, it might not end too well. So this bag, unlike a lot of other people, is set me up to go for 3 to 4 days. Different than a bug out bag, because my whole object is to get to my house, but I can still survive out of this bag. People use get home bags in different types of situations. Obviously we talked about EMPs, earthquakes, natural disasters, twisters, something like that. Yeah, you might have to park your car on the side of the road and walk home. But these bags are also good to have because what if you get stuck in a traffic jam? It's not a huge disaster, not for you anyway, but if you're stuck in a traffic jam, you know, you get hungry, you're stuck there for 5 or 6 hours, you get hungry, you get thirsty, it's hot, you can grab some stuff out of your bag, fix you up a little snack, have you a drink of water. Being a volunteer firefighter, you know, we've had to shut the interstate down a few too many times. You get people out there that have to sit out there for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. It's very uncomfortable. So let's get into this bag. This is just a Coleman little day trip bag where you can throw the hydration bladder in here, throw a few snacks, and then hit the trail. Nothing overnight. But as you can tell, it's packed out. Now, I know some of y'all are going to say, well, it's got bright red coloring on it. And this does stand out a bit, and eventually I might swap it. But this small profile of this thing fits perfectly under my seat. And hopefully, if there's a disaster or something, people are going to be wandering around. Hopefully they're going to be walking around lost as last year's Easter egg, that they're not going to focus on a man walking with a bag. Maybe I do need to swap it up. We'll see. On the outside, I've got an ATAC 372. Now I keep batteries in mine. I know a lot of people don't, but my batteries are flipped, so this thing won't come on. I've got a Sawyer Mini, gear tied to the outside. I love the Sawyer Micro Squeeze. I can't say enough good things about it. Y'all can check out the review videos I've done, and then the test video that I did comparing this to the Sawyer Micro Squeeze. Sawyer Micro Squeeze is great, but I've got a Sawyer Mini because if I'm walking home, I don't need to flow from a hydration bag like the Nock Vector into a bottle to clear my stuff. Speed during my water filtration is not as important. I have 2 55-gallon drum liners. Cut these up, put some leaves in them. Whatever the case is, I'm prepared to stay overnight outside. No, I don't want to, but just in case I have to, I've got some sort of a shelter. 2 straps on the outside. I have 2 freeze-dried meals. Now again, freeze-dried meals, you have to stop, you have to cook them, you have to let the water boil, all that good stuff. Yeah, it takes a little while. If I'm at Cabela's and it's 60 miles away, that's going to take me more than a day. So I have food in here to snack on as I go, but then I also have these to have a nice warm meal whenever I have to set up camp. MREs, I don't mind the flavor of these things. Nah, they're not the best in the world. I could easily throw some Cliff Bars in here, but I had these sitting spare in my closet, so they'll do. I just have a basic folding pocket knife, but you want to at least have a knife on you. I do carry a sidearm, got a knife. You know, normally I carry a knife to work in my EDC, but just in case I don't, I've at least got some sort of protection. Got 2 spoons just to eat. I have a mini flashlight in here. It's a hyper beam. You know, if I need a small light, it ain't got much, but it gives me something else. Maybe I don't want to wear a headlamp. Maybe I've been wearing one too long. I've at least got a backup. A little fishing kit. I don't ever plan on using it, but I had it. I needed a spot for it. Again, more freeze dry meals, more MRE meals. Speaking of shelters, I've just got a Mylar blanket. I think this is from Survival Frog. So this is not a bug out bag. A bug out bag should be essentially glorified camping. This is not. This is crap's hit the fan. You got to get home. What do you put in your bag? This thing barely weighs anything. You can find this, one trash bag overhead, one trash bag wrapped around this thing, or laying on a trash bag, something like that. It's not going to keep me perfectly warm and toasty like my big old sleeping bag does, but it'll at least keep me alive. 2 smart water bottles. I just carry the Nalgene bottles. Like I said in the 5 Things Preppers Learn, you know, bottles like these, super heavy. Smart water bottles weigh nothing. They work with my Sawyer Mini. Put them on top. With this, I'd have to use a bag, filter into here, then drink out of here. Big mouth makes a mess. Smart water bottles are easier. Little canteen cup. Got a bowl of water for the meals, so gotta have something. I have an ember lit stove, and maybe I don't want to build a huge fire, give my position away. Something like this little ember lit, you know, real small profile. It's not gonna make that huge fire smell. Once it's done, these things cool off super quick. Have this thing put back in and be on the trail in no time. I have paracord bracelets wrapped around here. This is an item that I've been debating getting rid of. You know, it's like a sterno type fuel, but inside, instead of it just being gel, wood material, and it's soaked with that gel. You know, I can easily build a small fire with this thing. It is pretty heavy. I've got my ember lit if I need a stove, so I don't know if I'm gonna keep this thing or not. I might break everything down again, upgrade some stuff, and if so, I'll let you guys know. Toilet paper. Self-explanatory. Water purification tablets now. From my work, I pass 2 ponds, a creek, and a lake. There's plenty of water sources, but maybe something happened and that water's a little bad. Something that the Mini can't get out. I've got ways to purify it. I can even boil it if I need to. The water bag and the straw from the Sawyer. I don't need this anymore because I'm using the smart water bottles, but let's say I'm somewhere new that I'm not familiar with. Never hurt to have a little extra water with you. Extra flashlight, so that's 2 headlamps and 1 handheld flashlight. If my primary dies, I can use this one. Med kit, I've got Quick Clot in here, I've got ouchie boo boo stuff. This isn't a full-blown trauma kit. I carry that in my truck. This is just a kit that I can put in here, and if I take this bag, little day hiking trips that I do, I've got something in the woods for me to use. Flare, you know, able to start a fire, signal somebody. Glow stick, again, signaling. Let's say you go out for a drive, car breaks down, you run out of gas, whatever the situation is, you got enough stuff in here to last 3 to 4 days, but maybe I want to be seen. Break the glow stick, putting on some paracord, spinning around in a circle, light up this flare, wave it around, helicopter sees me, car driving by sees me, I can be seen. This is just a fire kit. I've got matchbox, a little lens in here, tinder quicks, a lighter, 3 more pieces of wet fire. I've got a whole bunch of ways to make a fire. Now, like I said, a situation where I need this bag is not camping, is not enjoying being outdoors. This is a get home situation. I'm going to try to get home as fast as I can. Situation dependent on where I'm at, it might take me longer than a day. I know a lot of people who do these videos won't put fire kits in their bag. They won't put water filtration in their bag. And I get it. To each their own. I can't walk 50 miles in a day. And even though you want to get home as fast as you can, you still want to be prepared for having to stay outside. I've seen so many kits that aren't prepared to stay outside an hour, let alone a day or so. That is why you need to set your bag up for a longer distance. Your bag should be able to last you 3 days. It should be a mini bug out bag. You're not going out in the woods and going to set you up a huge survival shelter, but you can stay alive. So some things that y'all didn't see in the bag, I keep in my truck. Like I said, I've got a full-blown trauma kit in that truck. X-Dragon 10,000 milliamp solar battery bank. Recharge your cell phone. Let your family know, hey, don't worry about me. I'll be home in a day or 2. So I've got all this stuff to be able to survive whether I'm stuck on the side of the road whether my car breaks down, or whether I'm having to walk home from work from Cabela's. So I've got all of this stuff in this kit to keep me alive. A lot of get home bag videos will tell you to put some comfortable footwear near or on your bag, or even in your bag if you can fit it. Personally, I wear boots all day. My work boots, comfortable enough to walk around a plant for 12 hours at a time, or even work EMS as my side gig. So my boots are comfortable enough. If I'm not wearing boots, I'm in tennis shoes. You won't ever see me wearing flip-flops unless it's just running up here to the store. So definitely carry you an extra pair of tennis shoes, boots, something that you can walk in. On the same lines as that, if you have to wear dress or slacks or something uncomfortable to work every day, you want to have a change of clothes in your car as well. You don't want to be trying to walk home in a dress or some three-piece suit. If you're a nurse or a doctor or someone like that, you wear scrubs. You may want to change out of those. Same thing, any uniform you may want to be able to change out of. Wet weather, cold weather gear. Be sure to put that stuff in your car. So again, make sure you have a change of clothes from bottom to top. Don't just focus on the shoes. You want to focus on everything. Y'all be thinking about how far you can actually walk in a day. Be thinking about what's your options for water, for shelter, for food if you had to walk home. Hope y'all enjoyed this video of my get home bag. If y'all got any ideas, throw them in the comments. Be sure to hit that like button. If your get home bag is different than this, bigger, smaller, you've got different items in them, let me know. Alright guys, hope y'all enjoyed this video. T2 out.